The Breakfast Club recently had on popular influencer Lene Vanille. Those of you may remember her famous series on YouTube called Parking Lot Pimpin', and now she's on Revolt Podcast Network with a show called The People's Brief. And she's a very intelligent lady who I would say has a very liberal social perspective when it comes to Black America. And she is a queer rights activist, at least that can be included in her profile. And at some parts of the show, her and Jess Hilarious had a very viral back and forth.
And for you, I want somebody who knows that women can have babies.
Oh, okay.
Only women can have babies. I just want to let you know that.
Interesting. There are other people who can have babies.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if they have a uterus, they can have babies. But they just might not identify as women.
Now, it seems like out of nowhere, this came about. Jess Hilarious is talking about the only people who can have a baby are a uterus. Now, I looked at the clip before in its full context and entirety, and from what I can understand, Lene Vanille was not talking about transgenderism or anything like that. But I suspect because of her previous work and her position on supporting the LGBTQ community, Jess Hilarious took this opportunity to basically make that statement. So Lene Vanille said this.
Female, but you can't be biologically woman. Because woman is a gender construct.
Okay.
A social construct. But if you got a uterus, yeah, you can have a baby.
Yes, that's the point. If you have a uterus, you can have a baby.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we agree on that.
Now, Jess Hilarious received a bunch of backlash from many people who either are in the LGBTQ community or support the LGBTQ community.
Repeat after me. It is not my job to teach hateful people about transphobia and homophobia. They know what they're doing. Now I'm talking about just not hilarious. Damn.
And it gets worse.
It's been like 4, maybe 3 straight years of Jess Hilarious getting mad at the dolls. So my conclusion, a doll stole her man. Her man sent her a video about it. She's mad. Maybe she got burnt because a doll, I don't know, but a doll definitely took her man. And it's always around the same time every year, so I know that that doll took her man around this time of the year. Like, that doll must pop up on her FYP, on her Instagram every single time around the same time of the year.
So guys, I had no idea what this content creator was saying when she was referring to the term or phrase dolls. So I had to go to the particular comment section, and the guy actually asked it himself, like, what's a doll, please? I'm from London. It says black trans woman or a transgender woman. So either a doll is a black trans woman or a transgender woman, but we definitely know that it's a trans woman. But wait, there's more.
Remember when she was like, oh, some guy was in her inbox only because he thought she was a doll, and then when he found out that she wasn't, like, left? Like, is that the origin story? Is that the origin story?
So I remember hearing about this in Jess Hilarious talking about it, that basically somebody thought that she was a transgender because of her features, and because Jess Hilarious was not a transgender, then the person declined to deal with them further.
Got him!
And this is the position that other people have taken against her.
Comments that Jess Hilarious made on the Breakfast Club recently does nothing but confirm exactly what I suspected. She's just projecting. I don't really feel like she has a problem with the trans community. I just vividly remember when she first started blowing up and she was getting popular, and because she was low-key taking off, the only thing the motherfuckers could really say about her was, oh, you look like a man. Oh, but like this and that, like comparing her to a trans woman because she has such defined features. Being a black woman, low-key, just black features, but I just find it really corny, and I find it sad, honestly, because, like, just, you don't have to take this vendetta against trans people just because, you know, you don't like this comment that people are making about you. Girl, you could just ignore it. You're a beautiful woman. You have a successful career. You're on the Breakfast Club just for making videos on the internet, but you want to choose to focus all this negative-ass energy onto trans people and making just unnecessary-ass, like, comments. It's really weird.
Now, this person is saying the same thing, but he's saying it in a nicer way. Like, Jess, like, you're a very beautiful woman. The reason why you're standing on this is because of what somebody has done to you in the past. So, like, you need to basically be, you know, socially mature and not come after the trans community because of what's happened to you in the past. But rewind! I remember when this argument happened about 2 or 3 years ago, and a lot of people got involved in this, even including Tasha K to a certain point. And it happened when a transgender influencer said this.
What I mean when the transphobia just comes out, the audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't. Okay, you don't own periods, you don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person, but as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it.
Just Hilarious then responds with this.
Who the is gonna stand up for us? Who the stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your ass. Wake up.
But it seems like the transgender community, at least a part of them, were agreeing with Jess Hilarious, but there was a part of the commentary that they didn't like.
What turned me was when it became this conversation of you have a delusion or a mental problem, because then that seemed like that was a different type of bias that was coming in. That's
Yes.
a mental disorder.
And that's where she lost me with that too. Like, not because it became now we're all mentally insane, and we're and who's going to protect us from y'all crazy people?
Now that commentary was like, well, because you're a transgender woman, or you want to become a transgender woman, then you have some level of mental disability, or you're mentally slow, or something is wrong with you. And that is the part that folk like T.S. Madison took into account. And not only that, that has also been the position of other people commenting on this issue.
Some of these transphobic black women to understand that we all got targets on our back. They want to wipe us out. So trying to sit here and talk about, well, there's no women they can have a baby. So you're saying that that's what makes you a woman is reproducing, having a baby? Okay, so if that's the case, if a trans man still has their parts, they can have a baby. I've seen it.
Now, I have no idea what this person's talking about. This person is saying, well, for you to be a woman, well, a transgender man can give a baby. Of course, because biologically they were born with a uterus. And again, all of this has gotten out of hand, and it's gotten so bad that Just Hilarious has responded with this photo in this picture. My uterus is my superpower, signed a woman. And I believe that this picture was her when she was at least maybe a few months pregnant, or I don't know when, but I think that she's trying to basically show that. And I think that the reality is a lot of ladies agreed with Just Hilarious, okay? Let's look at this particular comment section, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. This person says, we stand with Jess Button. This person too says, my uterus is my superpower also. Beat It By says, Jess ain't wrong, y'all do way too much. Songs by Mac says, so it's offensive to be a proud biological woman with a uterus that can grow and deliver humans. This planet getting weird. She is 1,000% right. The Real Gab _B, I'm proud to be a woman too, girl. So it was a lot of people supporting what Just Hilarious was saying, despite the fact that many in the transgender community are upset. And I think what women like Just Hilarious are feeling is that, let's look at her position on the Breakfast Club. I know DEI is going away and things like that, but let's assuming that, hey, you want to be hired as a black woman. Okay, you have to give a job to a black woman, assuming that was the situation. So what can happen is technically a person can come in and say, well, hey, I'm a woman. I believe that I'm a woman, or I've done these things to now say I'm a woman. I was born a man. So then I qualify to have this position. Or let's talk about what's going on in women's sports. So I feel like I'm a woman, so therefore I can go in the transition and I still have the testosterone of a man. And so now I can take something that is meant for women. And I feel that what is happening with a lot of women who are born women, you would call them the term because this is YouTube, right? Cis women feel a certain level of encroachment by trans women onto their particular rights. And I believe that some women feel like because you have trans women, now that is devaluing them as naturally born women. And so now people are conflating the two as if they're all women. And some people look at it, well, hey, we're all facing the same challenges. And the reality for many is that no, you're not facing the same challenges as me, because you choose to, change your direction of your sexuality or your gender to become like me. But then again, you don't face the same challenges. And it seems that as the world becomes more liberal, more and more women are like Jess Hilarious. And then also what's happening is many women are afraid to talk about this. And one of the reasons why is because so many companies and so many people, especially in the Democratic liberal parties, they support this. They support a lot of transgender rights, LGBTQ rights. So, if you're hired by them or anything like that, you don't want to lose your job or be fired. And then when you look at everything that's happening, I think that a lot of women are concerned about the encroachment of what some would consider the transgender community onto the cis community's rights. And all of these terms, all of these pronouns, for me, I don't understand them. I don't understand what it is. I don't understand the politics behind it. I do know that Jess Hilarious has tried to turn the LGBTQ community upside down. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again. The episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.